protests before we get into the interview? Any protests out there that you saw or heard about?
So, I've been actually running around all over New York City, and I've seen the Israeli and the Palestinian protests the last couple of days. The transsexual one. I know there was one in Fifth Avenue today, but I was nearby, but I didn't see it specifically.
Got it, got it. Yeah, I'm hearing there's a lot. I'm hearing there's more people than police actually right now out in the city. It's just not to divert too much into that, but what are your basic takes on these protests that are happening specifically today?
Well, I don't really know. I just got back from the city. I think it was an anti-Trump rally,
Yes.
but I'm not really sure. When regards to the actions Trump has taken, the American people voted for him to do these things. He's doing them. It's a hard adjustment. It's something that other leaders have said they were going to do, but they never did it. So it's gonna be a shock. We're gonna take a big brunt, and then things will adjust and things will level out. And long term, obviously, that's what I assume he's going with. I believe that's his mindset, and that's what I think most of the individuals that are helping him as well in that time in that aspect.
Well stated. Now, 92.7 for you guys that don't know who this man is. This is Gonzalo Duran, and he is running for New York City Public Advocate. For this year. Tell us a little bit about what is the role of a public advocate, if you don't mind.
Well, a lot of people don't know what a public advocate is, and I think one of the reasons because they don't see it that often in the boroughs. But it's well, one of the functions is if something happens to the mayor, the public advocate is second in line to take over. After that, there'll be an election, for a formal election. It's a bridge between the mayor's office and the city council. It's also a position where you can put in for legislators or back legislators from other individuals, or excuse me, other elected officials in the city council. And one of the biggest aspects of it is that once you are elected the public advocate, there's certain committees and departments where you can put individuals as on the boards and stuff like that in departments. So you add it all together. I believe that it's and it's the name itself says it. It's an advocate for the public. It's you're gathering the information for the people, and then you're disseminating that to the legislators. Also it's a key factor to say that the public advocate is the voice of reason. It's people make complaints about city agencies, and the public advocate is supposed to remedy that, find ways to adjust it and fix the problems once it comes to their light and stuff like that.
That sounds like one of, like, I mean, every role pretty much elected official is important, but that sounds like a top tier, like, crucial, vital role to keep the city running. Currently Jumani Williams has that role, correct?
Yes, he does.
And from your take as an opponent, right, unbiased, do you feel that he's currently fulfilling his duties to his best extent, or what do you see that you could implement better?
Well, one thing for sure, I don't see him in the outer boroughs. And I'm a pretty active guy. So, like, I've bumped into Mayor Adams multiple times last year alone. Even in my work capacity, I bumped into him, interviewed him, and stuff like that. And I can say for sure, I've only bumped into Jamani Williams one time when he came to the Bronx to do the Chrissy Mamorado's swearing in. Besides that, I have not bumped into him. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, I just saw Jamani Williams here the other day." No, it's something that I think that's been overlooked. I think me personally, I would like to have more visibility in all the boroughs, and even have offices where it's more active. I haven't sent a letter to that office in a while. The last one I sent was to Bill de Blasio when he was the public advocate. And, I'm looking towards sending one and seeing what the reaction is for that. So, but I'll admit that I have met one individual from his office in the Bronx that was like his liaison, and I tried to do an event with them. This is before I went into the political
Arena.
arena for this
Okay.
position, and I can tell you there was no immediate feedback. And once again, I've sent multiple messages to try to get something done, um, just in general. So,
Okay. Now I will tell you, 92.7. We endorse here and there. We've endorsed Republicans, we've endorsed Democrats, and right now we want you to know. Well, you know it already, but we just want to confirmly say that we want to confirm that we endorse Gonzalo Duran for this race right here. But being with that said, what you just said, how should constituents take that? You said he's not that active in the birth. How should his constituents, people that are going to be voted for him, how should they take that?
well, first of all, like I want to be very clear. I am a pretty active person, and I have not bumped into the man in any work capacity. And I think that's an unfortunate thing when somebody like me is pretty active. Um, uh, so I don't want them to take it as a negative effect. And I'm not here to bash the person. What I'm saying is that I believe I could do the job better, and I could believe I could be more active in that role. And I want the position so that I can do those changes. If you look at my background, I think my resume is pretty um, concurrent with that position. Um, as a former United States Marine, I was an administrator. So in that capacity, building up organizations and units and battalions, and then across the country within in battlefields or in just the bases and stuff like that, taking on responsibilities for different sections of the country, the nation, and the world in that
And thank you for your
capacity.
service, Gonzalo. Thank you for your service very much, man.
Thank you very
Greatly
much.
appreciate it.
Let's say more in the political aspect, as the vice chairman for the Conservative Party, I've increased the county-wide demographic. So we increased our party by 30%. I helped fill the vacancies. Like we're like at 90% right now. I've increased visibility in the media. I've helped increase our candidacy. When I walked in, we had maybe a handful of individuals running for office. Now I'm proud to say that we submitted last year 21 and we got 18 of the candidates that we ran. This year, we submitted maybe 15, I want to say off the top of my head. And I'm hoping that we get, anywhere between 13 and 14, depending. And we'll know in about a few days what we got. But that's an example. Those are things. And just to be clear, as a conservative and endorsed Republican candidate, it's not easy to do what I'm saying in the South Bronx. It's not easy, or in the Bronx in general, or in New York City, in fact. But me saying all that stuff is to say, if I was put in this position, I would flourish because now I would have the authority and the backing and the funding to do it.
Got it. Well stated. So at this moment right now, you're back, and also you're back in Eric Adams, right? Or
No, no. So since I'm a conservative slash Republican. I'm endorsing the candidates that the both that the party has put up. But I've worked more closely with Curtis Silva in the Republican side. I've actually known him for almost 2 years now. I've known of him for many years, but I volunteered. I did volunteer work with the Guardian Angels in Brooklyn. I became an honorary member. So I'm not a full member, but I'm an honorary member of the Guardian Angels. So I have gone patrol with them. I have done work with them. I provide them services and goods in their capacity. And this particular election cycle, I've pitched ideas to this man before I finished the sentence. He's like, I'm already there, and the work that we've done, or the work that my platform hits many of his. So I've gone to events and I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. So in that capacity, I'm giving my support to Curtis and the conservative mayor as well,
no, I
and
was just
check
throwing
and
I was
balance.
throwing a jab out there earlier. I was just throwing a jab. I
Okay.
clearly see the route you're going. It's beautiful, and You have an event coming up April 12th with Curtis and a few others, right?
Yes, on April 12th at 11 a.m. In the Bronx between Boston Road and De La Vella, DLAVALL Avenue. It's in the 12th City Council District, 83rd Assembly District. We're doing a lithium battery protest. Curtis is headlining, is a featured speaker. Then you have myself and other individuals from that district.
Now, and it's a ban against the lithium battery building. Like you guys don't want it,
Well,
right?
it's a rally to regarding the locations that they've been putting it. So these lithium battery plants have been building without having prior knowledge to the community, and so they haven't been giving, like, let's say the community boards haven't known or been issued any warnings, or they haven't done any of the the normal procedures when organizations like that big comes into the facility, into the area, and it's being built by residential homes and local businesses. So when it comes, and I'm just going to give one example quick, if the lithium battery plant or issue happens and there's a fire, you can't just extinguish it with the NYPD, or excuse me, the FDNY. They have to wait until it burns out, and that could take days, maybe a
Wow.
week or so, depending on how severe it's going to be. And so besides the danger of what a fire like that can
The
pose,
after effect,
the
yeah, the after
toxins that are going
effects.
to be released as well is an issue.
Yeah. Listen, you guys heard it. If you can make it out, come out. This is you're trying to save lives, man. This is what you're trying to do. So
And,
uh,
and and just to be clear, we're not trying to put a ban, because we understand that the need for energy is great, but there's other places. There's more less condensed area. The reason why they don't want to do it there is because it will cost more money to let's say to um, because you have to also fix the area as well. You can't just put a plan and then that's it. You have to put more infrastructure around the area. That brings up more cost. But once again, our safety is more important in my and that's the way I
then
feel.
the
And
then the
Curtis
money,
feels,
right?
other individuals, activists, and organizations feel the same way.
Mm. Listen, I that was nail on the hammer. Other ones we can discuss the upcoming shows. We definitely want to have you back here on. This was just a brief quick one. We plan to have you on maybe sometime next week, and get out there, kill it. We will be in the building April 12th. Okay, Gonzalo.
All right, thank you, and I appreciate once again for the endorsement. So thank you so much.
You guys vote for, if you're in New York, vote for Gonzalo Duran, New York City Public Advocate 2025.
God bless America.
God bless America.